Well, hello. Thank you for joining us. I'm Carol with the Mighty Procrastinator, and this is um, the beginning of a beautiful, fun week. I am doing a catalog kickoff, new business debut, and what I mean by new business, I started a crafting business. I've been interested in many types of crafts, although my favorite is probably going to be stamping. So I will be continuing my Stampin' Up business alongside this other crafting business. So why not kick off both? We have a new catalog in Stampin' Up! I want to share with you, and some other fun stuff. I have a 4th of July Americana type bandana wreath workshop happening Thursday. That would be Thursday, June 24th. And I have a stamping workshop where we'll make 2 cards and a treat bag on Saturday, June 26th. Yeah, had to think about that. Anyway, if you're interested in joining us for either of those, please message me and I'll get details on when, where, and how much and what's involved. And anyway, so for today, I want to start off by showing you one idea and stepping it up. Like, I'm just a beginner. You might just be a beginner. I can show you how to make a beautiful card. No worries, simple. You want to step it up? Maybe I'm thinking, well, basics fine, but I just kind of want to add to it. I can show you how to do that. And then you're thinking, well, I'm really more of advanced. I just kind of want some ideas or show me a new technique. Great, stick around. Our third card will be that. Let me show you where I got this idea. Right here in the Stampin' Up! Catalog. It is loaded. Look at this. Loaded with card samples, card ideas, other projects. There's little jam jars in here to show you how to do that. Home decor, just all, look at that. And you know what? You're allowed to copy it. And I did. I'll show you later. I'll show you now. Let's see. The stamp set we are going to use is called Beautiful Moments, and it's on page 79. And look at that. Look at that. It's right there. It tells me, oh, it doesn't tell me, it shows me exactly what I need to do for this. So anyway, let's get started. All right, so let's get started. Today we are going to take you from a beginning stamper to kind of a casual, intermediate type stamper to a more advanced stamper using the Beautiful Moments stamp set. We are actually going to do the cards that are in the catalog. Kind of show you how you can take those and do them yourself, and kind of, if you don't have all the products, you might have something similar and kind of work it out that way. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to start with our first card. Set this aside. That there in case you see something you like and you want to go ahead and order. I'm going to start with card number 1. Excuse all my notes to myself. Oh, I seem to forget things. These are the materials you're going to need. I guess I can't exactly fit that in the frame, but I'll go ahead and post these the bottom of the video. Okay. Actually, I'm going to start you out with how to make the card base. If you're new to stamping, that is something you're going to want to know. So I have my paper cutter here, and I'm going to take a regular sheet of 8.5 by 11 cardstock. And I'm simply going to cut it in half. 5.5. And then I would score it at 4.25, which means I'm just gonna be folding it in half. And you always fold into the mountain. There you go. That's it. Not very hard. There you go. And then I like to take my bone folder and kind of just make that crease nice and sharp there. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and grab. We're going to be using this image today, and also You're Somebody's Blessing sentiment. I'm also going to be using the Memento Tuxedo Black ink, because I'll be using my Stampin' Blends alcohol markers, and that is a very good stamp pad to use in this case. Actually, I always like to go this way so I can make sure that I stamped the image. There you go. And I'm going to take my white cardstock that I cut down to 3.5 by 4.25. And I'm just going to stamp right on that. I really like these clear stamps versus the old wood stamp. So after I clean it, and my chamois, there's many ways to clean it. I just love this little chamois that I keep in a empty stamp case. So when you're done, you just peel this off and you put the next image on that you're going to use. Saves a lot of space. Alright, it's not such a pretty image. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and pull out my soft succulent blends, my Highland Heather blends, I'm going to get the light papaya. There's the set, but I'll only be using the light one for the moment. Each set comes in a light version and a dark version. And let's see, soft suede. Again, they come in a light version and a dark version. And we're just going to color this up real quick. I'm using the light soft suede on her hair. Of course, you can use whatever color you want to make her hair. You don't have to do exactly what I'm doing. I'm just going to add in a little bit darker highlights. Kind of blend that out, give it some dimension. You do have to be careful about using alcohol inks, because they do seep through to the back. So you do need to keep paper under there. Let's see. Of course, skin color to your liking as well. I'm going to leave her dress white, because that's what they did in the book. So I'm going to take a little bit of my light Highland Heather. I'm just going to kind of color in the flowers here. Go back through with my dark to kind of just add some dimension in there. These markers are really good for doing that on larger images. But that's okay, we can. And then I'm going to grab my soft suede. I'm just going to kind of take my dark soft suede, and these markers, just so you know, they have like a brush tip. Oop, they're not usually that hard. And then the other, I'm not quite sure what that's called, but a little more precise. And I'm just gonna get these stems. There you go, give it a little more dimension. I also cut out a piece of designer series paper using the left my head for a moment. The Pansy Petals designer paper. And let me quickly show you. When you get this, you get 2 each of each design, and they're double-sided. So I'm just going to show you real quick what came in this particular packet. Of course, you can use anything you have. The samples in the book are just to merely give you an idea of where to start when you're stuck. I don't know about you, but I get stuck a lot. I don't always feel creative, but I want to make something. I used to make a lot of things with gingham, so I'm sure those things are going to come back to me. All right. And you get 2 of each of those in a packet. Again, that is called, let's see, Pansy Petals Designer Series paper. And then it tells you also the coordinating colors. So when you're making a project, you kind of know what colors to go with it. Okay, so anyway, I chose, well, I didn't choose. I copied from the book the gingham. And let's see, we're going to stamp the sentiment, just in case I also stamped it on the back. That's one good thing about stamping. There's 2 sides to every piece of paper, in case you mess up, which I do often. Trust me, trust me. I like to make sure. Oh, see how I got a little ink on the rubber where I don't want it? I'm just going to wipe it off with my chamois. There we go. The rest of it looks pretty good. Just going to line that up. Actually, I found a perfect spot if I did this upside down that I could stamp right on there. And there you go. Here's somebody's blessing. A wonderful one. And I always clean my stamp. There we go. And set that aside because we'll need it for the other 2 cards. And you might want to close your stamp pads because I just stuck my hand in there. That's just great. Alrighty. If you don't get ink all over your fingers, are you really a stamper? Yeah, probably not. I'm just going to take some of my Stampin' Seal adhesive here. It's a brand new roll, so pardon me if I need to get it going here. There you go. I could put this here and this here and be done. Or I can fancy it up a little and pop it up on Stampin' Dimensionals. So I think we're gonna do that. It's perfect. See what I mean? It went through. Scared me for a minute. Thought I squished a bug. All right. Now having a card like that is perfectly fine. It's absolutely beautiful as is. I'm not changing too much of the look. I'm just gonna pop it up, give it a little dimension. Let's see. These are double-sided, sticky, so it makes it real easy. And gingham paper makes it very easy to line up on. So there we go. And because I raised that up and I want to put it here, I'm not going to put a dimensional on that side. I am going to put that, but on the other side, I need to put a dimensional to raise it up to make it even. There we go. Oh, and I did it on the wrong side. Oh no, I didn't. I had it upside down. Silly me. That just shows you don't need brains to make a card. There you go. That I am all done. Very beautiful card. Very beautiful. But wait. We are going to step it up, as they say. This is a good beginner card. Real quick, real easy. It didn't take us much time at all. I will say I did cut this out to 3 1/4 by 2 1/8 and stamped it. Again, the white was 3 1/2 by 2 1/4. The Designer Series paper. Let's see, did I write that down? Yes. 4 3/4 by 1 3/4. There you go. Quick, easy, and beautiful. And you can put happy birthday here. You can put thinking of you, whatever you wanted. All right, we're going to set that aside. We're going to bring in card number 2. Now, card number 1, it was beautiful, no doubt about it. But I'm going to show you how to step it up just a bit. Now I've done some of the stuff beforehand. You don't need to see me color all 3 cards and such. So I am going to show you. I cut out this paper. I gotta find my list so I can tell you. I did the A2 card base as I'd already showed you. Let's see. And then I cut out a 4 by 5 1/4 piece of cardstock. That's gonna go right on top. And I kind of was toying with a little technique I learned is to kind of ink up the edges. Just to kind of give it a little bit of depth. I don't know if they did that in the catalog. I couldn't really tell, but I'm going to. And I don't know if you can see the difference because I kind of did it so you wouldn't have to watch me do the whole thing, but you can kind of see the difference. But then when I ink up the edges, it just kind of pops it up a little. And let me show you what I mean by inking up the edges. I take a little sponge, just dab it in my ink pad here, and I'm just putting a little bit of ink on the edges. This is not the sponge I usually use, but for some reason it wasn't in my drawer. So who knows where it's hiding. can't even think of the last project I used it on. That would probably help me figure it out. If you're new to these Stampin' Up! Ink pads, what I like about them is like my Memento here, I store upside down to keep the ink at the surface. Stampin' Up's stamp pads are made so when you can open them up this way, but when you close it, it already stores it upside down. So I love that. Okay, so we're going to take this and we're going to take the 4 by 5 1/4. These double-sided tapes sometimes can take a little getting used to, especially when you get a new pack in there. Alright, and I'm going to, hang on, I don't want to put this on yet, hang on. Silly me, I don't want to put this on yet. That's okay, that's okay. What I want to do, put it on this, it won't stick to that. This little silicone mat I use all the time. I use with my adhesives. Okay, let's see. What we're going to do with this is we're going to put on our DSP. Same dimensions as before. Here, and then when I took a piece of soft suede cardstock, and from our contours, hold on, Scalloped Contours dies, oh, I have them right here. This also goes in here, and this. But we're using these two today, so that's why I have them aside. And you need a die cutting machine. I'll show you a picture of it at the end to cut this out. And I'm actually going to use a little bit of my multi-purpose glue. And I'm going to put a little bit on the back here. I don't want to put too much, but you do want enough to, you want it to stay, but you don't want it to ooze out. You don't want it to get the paper too wet because then it'll bubble. Okay. And then we're going to put this right, kind of see where you want the scallops to fall on your card. And that looks good to me. And I am just gonna trim off those edges. Where's my scissors? Take my paper snips. There we go. There we go. And then I'm going to take some ribbon. I'm going to show you a little trick how I like to hold that in place. Instead of wrapping ribbon all the way around, I'm just going to put some tape here. There you go. That up how I want it. Put a little bit of tape on there. And that's just going to hold it in place before I stick it on my card. And then I'm going to figure out where I want this on here. Sorry if it seems like I'm heavy breathing. That was a big inhale I just took. Let's see. I'm going to put this, let's see, right about there. And then I kind of want a bow, so I'm going to slip this under. Again, I'm just taking this right from the book, and I'll show you the catalog, where to find this in the catalog, and you'll see, you'll be able to judge how well I did matching it up. Let's see, here we go. Here we go. Yeah, your bows don't have to be perfect. Mine never are. And part of it's going to get covered by your sentiment, so don't worry a whole bunch, and then you can cut it and trim it up however you want. Let's see. And then I'm going to grab my glue dots, which I just had, so where did I put them? Oh. Just had them, I tell ya. They're still in the box. Oh, here we go. Actually, I might not even need the glue dots because I forgot I tied that on there. So actually, I don't think we need it. Unless, where we putting the sentiment, if I decide. I think I will. Yeah, I'll put a glue dot here, and then one of those dimensionals here to kind of raise that up. So otherwise it'll be all uneven. Take my there you go. And I'm going to show you how to do that. Oops. Would help if we took the backing off it. There we go. That there. I did that by using my lovely labels punch. Oh, unlock it, and maybe I have this where I show you in card 3, but since I don't remember, you can on this shows you different widths of paper, what it'll look like. So I'm just going to take my strip, and I like to turn it upside down and stick it in, because then I can line it up and see where I want to cut. Can you kind of see that? Bam. And there you go. Of course, this is just Post-it paper, so it's really thin and didn't make the cut I was hoping to, but there you go. See that? Alrighty. So now we're going to take this layer going to pop it up. Just going to put a couple of these on here. You could also get a strip of foam if you wanted. Sorry, I got pieces flying here. If you ever have small areas, you can cut these in half. I do that all the time. Let's get one over here and one over here. That looks like a lot of dots, but that's okay. We don't want it sagging. Let's see, I might take your pick tool here. Now where'd I put it? It's easy. It helps you just lift these little backings, although I'm perfectly capable of doing it on my own. All right, so I'm going to take that card base we started with, popped this up, and there you go. So I stepped it up. Let's see. Card one, where'd you go? All right. Very lovely card. And then, voila. All we did was add, well, we added a frame. We added a little ribbon, and then we added the little scalped border. We also fancied up the sentiment. See, we just went from a little rectangle to just trimming the edges using our lovely labels punch. You can see it didn't take much more time, but there you go. And now we'll pull in card number 3. This is for the more advanced stamper card maker. Let me get my pieces here for you. I'll show you how I did all that. Alright. Okay, I'm just going to set my card base aside. Y'all know what that's about now. We won't need that till the end. And then I want to show you what I did. You know how we layered the same color on top of there? Well, I did not ink the edges on this. This time, I put it through an embossing folder. And we have many in the catalog. That's just one. It looked similar to what they had used, which was the something about ornate. I'll find it. Hang on. I made all these lists for you. And then you can't even see them. Scalloped, nope. Here we go. Ornate Floral 3D Embossing Folder. There you go. Mine's an old version, so might be a little different than what they used in the catalog, but that's what it looked like to me. All right, so we've got this. I'm going to set this aside. You need one of those, in my head I'm thinking Big Boss because that's what a lot of people call it. Let me grab it so I can kind of show you what. I had the page number marked and now I don't see it. I made myself so many notes so I could find all these things real quick for you. Oh my goodness. Well, I know one thing I wanted to show you was Stampin' Emboss Machine 153. There we go. The reason I call it Big Boss, because we have a Big Boss and we have a Mini Boss. But it's actually called Stamp and Cut and Emboss Machine. So you can cut out images. That's what I used. It cut out the frames for us today. And then it embossed by using an embossing folder. Fun, 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 fun. And we can show you how to use that in another video at another time. But I wanted this to go quickly. This video is already about 40 minutes long. So see how I did the background just using. Let me make some room. There we go. I don't know if you can see the host code. It's an R. Alrighty. This one's real easy. I'm also going to use that silicone mat I told you about and scrap paper. Because remember I said the inks will kind of bleed through. And for this I'll be using, I hope that wasn't too loud for y'all. I will be using Fleur de Flamingo. I'm just double checking that. And Daffodil Delight and the Pale Papaya. There you go. Oh, and at the bottom I did use a little of the the soft succulent Stampin' Blends. So to get started, I'm going to start just with some light colors using the brush end. Look at that. I'm just going to kind of go through that. I'm going to use the lights to start out with. Oops, I did not use the brush end. Don't even follow my own directions. Oh my goodness. So we're just going to kind of blend those. Sorry to make you watch me color. I'm just going to go back and kind of mix the colors. See how kind of they're blending? You don't see so much pink and yellow and peach. It just kind of you can go back through if you feel you need a little more of something or a little bit more of a darker. I might do a little darker because this is where I'm going to put my stamped image. And then we'll kind of do some, I'll do a little dark here first. I might need a new tip there. Alrighty, there we go. We can see that. I'm going to stamp a couple of butterflies on there. Again, I will be using the Memento ink. And, oops, I put that one backwards. That's okay. I feel dizzy sometimes. There you go. Putting them on the outer because I'm going to put my main image in the middle. Clean my stamp off. Whoops. No problem. All fixed. And then I'm going to show you how I did this again with well, good grief. It's a big stamp. How could I not see it here? Oh, silly me. I put the Designer Series paper on top of it. Again, I'm going to just take this, I'm going to ink it up. Sorry if I go out of frame once in a while. I get so busy stamping I forget to look at the camera and see where I'm at. Just going to stamp that. Now this one I don't need to worry about precise because we're just going to cut it out. There we go. Just make sure I got it all. All right. Now I'm not going to have you watch me color, but I'm just going to show you. We're going to cut the image out. Let's see, today's Father's Day. What are y'all doing? We're not quite sure yet what we're going to do. But only one of the kids is able to come home. Alright, so there you go. I just cut that out. We're going to stick it on here. But first I colored it. I actually colored it before I cut it out, but you guys didn't need to see me coloring it again. We'll take the non-upside down butterfly. And we're going to take our stamp and seal. Hang on, I'm grabbing my directions because I want to make sure I got that right. Yep. We're going to put that on there. Actually, I'm going to use glue for this one. Just glue's nice because if I need to move it over, it's gives me a few moments to adjust if I need to. Especially since I don't have such a straight line to line up with. There we go. I'll put this down here. I like this little frame. And we're just going to put her right in there. Look at that. Well, I could have probably popped her up. Yeah, I should probably have popped her up, but that's okay. That's okay. Well, it's not too late. It's not too late. I don't know what they did in the catalog. I kind of got off track there, but let's just do this. Why not? Dimensionals are fun. Fun. Here we go. You know what? I just realized this was going to be my practice video and I really wasn't going to put the cards together. I guess this is going to be my real video because everything's all put together. I just was being silly and forgot my purpose. I guess I got too excited. There we go. Oh, I like that better popped up. Yeah, it gives a little dimension. I don't know if you can. It's just a little pop up, nothing huge. Let's see. Well, I noticed we got cut off, so I'm back. I'm gonna put these videos together. I hope I can figure that out for you. Anyway, back to card number 3. We had just popped her up, and then I'm going to grab, let's see, how should we do this? I'm going to let's see, I'm gonna kind of put this, before I glue everything, I'm gonna kind of put things in place. There's that. Oh, I was gonna show you how I did that. Pardon my reach as I reach across my desk. So I took a 1-inch strip of soft succulent, and I just I put this on. This is from the Scalloped Contours die set that I was showing you. Put it on there, ran it through my machine, I took it off. I always put a little piece of washi tape so this stays in place. Put that over there. My washi tape. Alright. And then I just kind of trimmed that off. And voila, see? And then I can trim it before I put it on the card or after. That is up to me. I'm going to I'm going to do that. I'm going to take my ribbon. Now, if you use our white seam binding with this, you can take your alcohol markers and color the ribbon. I'm using the wrong kind of ribbon today, but I think that's what they did. I know that's what they did in the sample on page 79, is they used their stamping blends. You just colored the ribbon, it dries, and there you go. Okay, so that goes there. Then I'm going to put the lady over here, and I'm going to put my bow there, and I'm going to take my sentiment. Oh, yeah, I wasn't sure if I wanted it darker or lighter. They did the lighter one in the catalog, and they also used the Pick-a-Banner punch, but I'm just using the Lovely Labels, kind of like that. And I just kind of slide it in, and then I can see over here where I want to kind of like center it the best I can. I don't know if you can see that, but I kind of marked it up to here, and just punch. And there you go. Just turn it around. I'll do the same thing, and I line it up so it'll be even. Squeeze. And then I've got my nice little label. I kind of like the dark. I don't know. You guys can make your own choice. There you go. So I would put that. All right, so let's put this together. Now, since this is textured, I don't want to put my stamping seal on it and squish it, so I am going to use my Tombow liquid glue. Someone gave me this great idea. Put it in a container with hot glue and leaving gluing the lid down there, so my glue is always at the bottom ready to go. Instead of normally you'd maybe store it that way, and now all the glue is at the bottom. Although this is double-sided, so I guess if I used the bigger end, that would be fine. But I don't tend to use that. I tend to use just this little end. So I'm going to go ahead and use glue on this one, just so it adheres to the layer, the embossed, the raised and lowered and such. So we're going to put that. There you go. And then put that on there, wherever you'd like. Let's see. Maybe if I put it on about there. Maybe this is crooked. Oh, something's not looking right. It's also a good reason to use glue, because then you can move it. All right. Then I'm gonna put some glue on this one. You don't need very much. Like I said, too much. I'm gonna put this down in case the glue goes over. I can see I didn't get that straight enough. All right, I'm gonna trim off the excess. And then do that trick again with the tape. There we go. Wow, if you're still with me, thank you. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. Some of you are just looky-loos. Some of you are saying, what's Carol up to? And some of you are like, I could really use some stamping inspiration, and I hope I helped. All I did was take sample right out of the catalog, and I'll show you the catalog versus mine when I'm done here. Okay, now we're gonna put her up here. I think I'm gonna pop that up. I just love these Stampin' Dimensionals. Have you ever used them? Oh, it's so silent. Just talk among yourselves. Okay. Yeah, don't put it upside down. That would not be good. All right. Oh, good. I had this spot on here and I was not really sure, but it looks like I'm going to be able to cover that. Let's see. There you go. And then I already did my bow, and I'm not tying it on like I did the last time. Okay. My glue dots disappeared again. I have an empty box now. Before I couldn't find the box. Now I have the box. Oh, goodness, goodness. Seriously, okay, I have a roll of dots that I probably stuck something on top of. Well, that's okay. Not a big deal. I can use glue for now. Sometimes I notice glue doesn't stick as well. Alright. Now see, I didn't color my ribbon, and you totally could if you wanted to. Oh, I found the dots. I set my markers on top of them. I'm not normally a disorganized person, but lately I feel like very disorganized. Alright, and then on top of that I'm trying to do 3 cards here. So, let's see. There we go. That'll hold better than the glue. On this particular, I find on the ribbon, glue doesn't always stick well. Let's see. And then, now I don't really need to pop up this end of it, but I kind of found on the other one that maybe 2 dots equal the thickness of the knot in the ribbon. So make sure I got this right. I'm putting it on this end. Well, you can't see what I'm doing. Sorry. I have to learn to stay in the frame, and in order to do that I actually have to peek at the camera once in a while. There we go. See, I just stacked them up. Not a big deal. Put a little bit of my, again, stay in the frame, Carol. Okay, there we go. Just put this right like that. Okay. Oh, that looks good. Pull out my base, and like I said, I don't want to use my Stampin' Seal because I don't want to smash any of that. So I will use glue. And you know, adhesive a lot of times is a personal choice. Some people use glue only, some people use tape runner, tear and tape, all kinds of stuff. So anyway, we're gonna just stick that on here. Of course, I could pop it up, but I chose not to because I've already popped up 2 layers. I popped this up and I popped this up. And especially if you're mailing it, you don't want to have so many layers that it gets messed up going through the post office. So there you go. What do you think? Oh my gosh. I think I love it. But I love all of them. Let's see. One last little touch. I'm going to add some of the Artistry Blooms adhesive back sequins. Let me show you what comes in here. They're a little, it's kind of hard to see the coloring. They're all a little different. You get 4 sheets. There you go. See, I'm not sure what color I should use. I'm using these with another project currently, so maybe I'll just stick with the yellows, the sunset. Take your pick tool. Now these are already adhesive backed, so oops. Just gonna stick them around. This one likes me, doesn't want to say goodbye. Let's see. It's put one down here. There you go. There. Just actually, I think I'm going to move that over just a little since I have that one. I don't want to look like I want them lined up. Maybe I'll even put, there we go. There we go. Just a little blingy bling. All right. Okay, let me show you all three of these cards. And then I will show you the catalog. Okay. Let's clean up the mess so you can see. All right, here we go. This was card number 1. Simple stamping, perfect for a beginner, but doesn't, sorry, I hit the camera, but doesn't look awesome? Wow. Wow. People will be impressed. I love this. Okay, and then we stepped it up a bit. Look at that. This time we added the scallop, we added ribbon, we added the border, and then we added this little, I don't even know what you'd call that, but little layering piece maybe. Popped it up. Kind of zhuzhed up the sentiment banner there. There you go. And then this time, look at that. We still have a banner. We still have the scalloped edging. We still have the designer series paper. We still have the layering piece. We did emboss the layering piece. This time we colored the background. We popped her up, cut her out, popped her up, and added a little bling. The ribbon's there. Like I said, you can color our seam binding ribbon with the alcohol markers, the Stampin' Blends. I did not this time, but you could. I think that's what, or I know that's what they did in the catalog. So anyway, let's see if we can get these all in the frame so you can take a look while I grab the catalog. Oh, seriously. It's right here. I put everything I need right next to me, and then I move things as I go. Anyway, this stamp set, Beautiful Moments stamp set, which is right here, just so you know, is found on page 79 of your annual catalog. Like I can say that. Here we go. Alrighty. Page 79, Beautiful Moments, and here are the samples right in the book. I didn't even have to think about it. Not at all. And of course I could use my own choosing of colors. I don't have to use the mint macaron. I don't have to use purple for the flowers. You know, you could do whatever you wanted. So anyway, let's see how I did. Let's see, that's the beginner card. My beginner card. Then we stepped it up a little. I'm trying not to get the glare for you. There we go. Their card, my card. Not too bad, not too bad. See, they used a different banner than I did. And you wouldn't even know. Let's see, and then my card versus their card. You can see how they colored their ribbon. There you go. And these do the artistry, not the artistry, yeah, the artistry sequins there. There you go. Alrighty. If you see anything that you'd like to order. Here's the hostess code. I'd appreciate it if you use that for orders of $60 or more.